And then also, would you talk a little bit about, I think, my favorite scene in the movie, probably my favorite scene in the movies this year, the Quaalude scene?
What specific?
I know that in the script it was like a page or something. It was really short.
No, it wasn't a page. It was actually 3 different sequences that. See, I always imagined this movie in my mind as that terrific scene in Goodfellas where Ray Liotta's spinning the marinara sauce. He's got cocaine. He's hopped up on cocaine. There's helicopters flying above, and then his nanny wants the hat, her lucky hat, to travel. And the way he shot that, I said, let's do that for 3 hours. So we knew we had to do something that was a film within a film that would kind of be even more insane than that. So as we were doing the writing process, which was a few months before we even started, we kind of kept compounding these scenes, and I wanted to make sure that there was tension there. So there was one sequence that was where the FBI was sort of tracking my house. There was another where Donnie chokes, or it was originally him falling in the pool. Then we made it him choking on ham, which was a lot better. And then there was another sequence where we're hopped up on Quaaludes, and we kind of compounded all those sequences together, and in an attempt to make the movie shorter, of course, and more tension-filled. And it turned into a pretty memorable sequence, I think. And I had to get Jordan Belfort himself, who I spoke with a lot in the pre-production process, to tell me about what Quaaludes were like, and it was fascinating, because he told me that basically you have every motivation and you think your mind is working perfectly, but the mechanics of your body just don't work. They just fail you. And I remember seeing this YouTube, this bit on YouTube called "The Drunkest Man in the World," and I was fascinated by this young guy that went into this liquor store that just wanted a beer, but he wouldn't give up. He wouldn't give up, and his body was contorting all over the place, but he just wanted a beer. And so I kind of watched that obsessively, because it was very similar to what Jordan described as being on Quaaludes as well.
Did you ever meet that man?
I never met that.
I also heard when you walked into the kitchen, there wasn't supposed to be like a counter in the kitchen, and then Marty's like, "What are we gonna do? There's a counter here. How are we gonna film this?" And I think you suggested that you would just jump on the counter.
I mean, we basically turned into baboons by that point. And then there was the whole, as we were doing it, then the whole telephone wire cord wrapped around my neck, and we loved that. And then, what I love too is when Jonah actually does it. He has a bowl in that sequence, and he doesn't throw it at me. He kind of just goes like this to like give me something to play with while he's getting away. But yeah, and then it turned into a whole sequence again with getting wrapped in the telephone cord, which then turned into me looking like a King Kong or something like that. And then of course Popeye with the cocaine, which was another nice touch. Which we actually thought of in the writing process.